Even before the creation of the State of Israel, Jews risked their lives to spirit their fellow Jews out of war-torn Europe, out of North Africa, from Iraq, and from behind the Iron Curtain. With the help of world Jewry, the little State of Israel has invested a major part of its resources in integrating the masses of new immigrants into its society. With all its experience of working with new immigrants, the Jewish Agency and the government of Israel recognizes the absorption of the Ethiopian Jews as one of its greatest challenges. For this child, taking his first breath of life on the plane bringing him to freedom, the path to integration is easy. The first language he will learn is Hebrew, and the first culture is Israel's. For the rest of his family, the formidable task of learning to live in a strange land is before them. But on their arrival in Israel, these thoughts are put aside.
Ethiopians started to come to Israel since 1977. But they were coming in little drops. When Prime Minister Begin decided to bring them, it was a very, very difficult task to do. When the opportunity was created that we could bring them in big numbers, we airlifted them. I'm referring to the whole process and phenomena of Ethiopian Jews. They were not living in the best conditions. We had to bring them here. We brought them here. Still are Jews in Ethiopia. That's part of our problems that we feel very, very strongly here in Israel. And we are hoping that one day, as others came, those who are still there will come too. Everything for us is priority, especially when we are speaking about the life of the Jewish people. So the question was not even asked. We knew we had to bring them. We knew we had to absorb them. We still have to absorb them. And we made it possible with the great help of the Jewish people.
Uri Gordon, what would you say is the motive that seems to be driving you and your colleagues in working for the successful integration of Ethiopian Jews in Israel?
I must tell you that I myself was born in Israel. But first of all, before being an Israeli, I'm a Jew, and I'm proud to be Jewish. I'm proud that my country brought our brothers and sisters from Ethiopia to Israel. And this brings us a lot of motivation to deal with this immigration. In Youth Aliyah, we have now around 2,200 kids. Around 1,600 without parents.
Ethiopian?
I talk just about the Ethiopian. Without parents. And to deal with this, we are very happy that this is our task to do it. And I'm sure that the experience of Youth Aliyah during all the years that we deal with young people, yesterday before the Ethiopian, the Iranian kids, today the Ethiopian, tomorrow we hope the young people from Russia. We have a lot of experience, and I'm sure that after 5 years, 10 years, these kids will be good citizens and beautiful, real flowers in my society.
Despite the fact that the Ethiopian Jews were cut off geographically from their biblical roots, they maintained a spiritual link to the Holy Land that dates back to the first temple of King Solomon.
For over 2,000 years, the Ethiopian Jews have looked to Jerusalem as the source of their culture and history. Even in Ge'ez, the religious language of the Ethiopians, it is possible to detect the names of their Jewish forefathers. Among the Ethiopians, there is a common belief that they have a common historical origin with the Jews. They call themselves Beta Yisrael, the House of Israel. They believe that a local monarch, the Queen of Sheba, journeyed to the court of King Solomon. From the romance that blossomed between them, a son was born who took the Ark of the Covenant back with him to Ethiopia. Some of the Ethiopian Jews believe that they are descendants of the soldiers Solomon sent to protect his son on the journey. Once members of a proud, courageous monarchy numbering in their hundreds of thousands, they have dwindled by the forces of man and nature to a mere fraction of what they were. They have been reduced to making tools and handicrafts, work despised by their neighbors who call them falashas, outsiders. In spite of the loss of many who have been converted to Christianity under duress, those who remain have kept faith with their religion. Mourning in the villages of Gondar and Tigray provinces is a common sight. The death may have been caused by famine, disease, or attacks by hostile neighbors. Life is unbearable in the villages, and when the State of Israel indicated its readiness to accept them, they left in their thousands. In a top-secret rescue mission, some were flown out of makeshift landing strips, but the majority fled on foot. The Jews swelled the hordes of refugees seeking relief from Ethiopia's famine. On the way, many were attacked and killed by bandits, insurgents, and Ethiopian soldiers. They arrived at the refugee camps in a pitiful state. But when Operation Moses got underway and through ingenuity and guile, the way to Israel was opened. The Ethiopian Jews became the target of jealousy of their fellow refugees. The Jews have a home and refuge, they said. We have nothing.
With the help of God and your help, we are here. Just as God took Israel out of Egypt, so did he take us out from bondage and into freedom.
I want to explain that our outlook, the outlook of the chief rabbinate of Israel is that the Ethiopian Jews are Jews. They are Jewish for at least 500 years that we know. But the problem was that they were cut off from all the Jewish resources, about 2,600 years.
The veteran immigrants have integrated into Israeli life and can be seen taking part in all spheres of activity and all occupations. They take an active role in integrating the new arrivals.
Well, I think we can say they're absorbed whenever we see that the Ethiopian Jews, when we can find Ethiopian Jews intermarrying with the other Jews who came all over the world, whenever we see Ethiopian Jews as parliament members, as when you see Ethiopian Jews as army officers, then we can say that they are fully absorbed in the Israeli society.
The Israeli army is the melting pot of the state, and serving in it is almost a prerequisite for taking an active role in its society. Some of the young immigrants brought to Israel through Operation Moses have finished their pre-army training with honors, and the outstanding cadets receive awards. In the words of the Hatikva, we haven't lost hope, a hope 2,000 years old, to be a free people in our own land.